to meet you. Did it work? This is yeah. Do you need extra note cards, anything like that? I have them right here. Sure, thank you. Hi, I'm Miss Escajeda. Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Miss Escajeda. No shakes, okay. Cool, nice to meet you. Hi, Miss Escajeda. Nice to meet you. Genesis, right? Genesis. Okay, I'll get that. Is it S-Y?
She's good.
Okay.
She's gonna be a good teacher.
If you guys can just take a note card and flip it in half and write your name on it so I get your names down. And also you guys can get started on the do now, which on the packet that I gave you. And I think it should be coming up here any second now. Good morning, I'm Miss Escajeda. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Who's coming? I'm coming. I'm the guest speaker kind of today, right? So you get me. I'll introduce myself, I'll explain why I'm here, what I'm doing, and we'll go from there.
Miss Escajeda, are you good on tech? Okay.
Thank you so much.
You take your bag off?
You guys should have on your desks a packet that has a do now right on the front and a note card. So just fold the note card in half, write your name on it, so I make sure I get your name because I don't want to call you by anything else. And if I mispronounce them, just correct me, right? I probably will. But I might be able to memorize them too. Pretty good at that. And then you guys can get started right on the do now on your paper while we wait for this to get started in front. Good. So I see some of you guys starting writing down 2 things that you notice. And so when a teacher oftentimes tells you, like, analyze a photo, a lot of times I'm like, what does that even mean? Right, so the first thing you should do is always notice. Look at the photo, what do you see? Right, so the first thing you're doing with that do now is just, what do you see? What are 2 things that you see? AL. What does that stand for?
Al.
Oh, it's Al. Whoa, that was bad, huh? AL. It's Al. Wow. I just got at school or something. That's terrible. That was so bad. Okay. Wow. Let's take 2 more minutes on this do now so we can get started. We'll get started a little bit late. Right, so the second thing you guys should do, what do you guys think is happening in the image? So you've done the noticing, you've kind of done the analyzing. Now tell me, what do you think is happening? You just one bullet, you have to write a complete sentence.
Why?
Right? Yeah. Sorry. Naira. Galicia. Okay. Galicia. Jennifer. Victor. Al. Remember that one. I messed it up. Make sure you guys make your name first so I can call you. Jen. All right. So, kind of before we get started, I'm just going to give you guys a little introduction of who I am. I know your teacher's asked to say he's not here, so I'm kind of filling in. So I'm excited to be here. My name is Miss Escajeda, which is kind of hard to pronounce because they threw this random J in there. Right? The J is pronounced like an H. You can call me Miss E if that's easier for you, or you can pronounce the whole thing. Today what we're going to be doing is working on Africa. And I think you guys learned a little bit about it yesterday, right? Can anybody just tell me some things that you guys learned yesterday? Show of hands, what did you learn? Yes, Chris.
Some of the regions, like North, South, Central.
Okay, so the geographic regions of Africa, as a continent as a whole. Okay, great. Jay.
There's different types of climates.
Different types of climates. What did you learn? We need to phone a friend. What do you guys learn about the climate picture?
There's desert, forest,
There's deserts, there's forests, there's all these different crazy things. All right. Al, did you remember anything from yesterday? Sorry, not to put you on the spot there. No? Faisal, what about you?
What? Oh.
You don't remember anything? Okay, well hopefully we'll walk away with some knowledge today about the gold salt trade. And the essential question that we're kind of going to be focusing on is, Chris, can you read it out loud? Give me the essential question on the board. And no, it's the same one on your sheet too.
What effect did the gold salt trading have on the development of Africa?
Fabulous. Right, so we're going to be looking at this thing called the gold salt trade and figuring out what it is, why it's important. So let's start with the Juno. What do you guys notice in this image? What do you see? Yes, Anila.
There's a mine.
There's a mine. Where do you see the mine? If I had it up on the board, I'd have you come point to it, but what do you see?
In the bottom right.
Ah, the bottom right. So what do you see in the picture? How do you know it's a mine? Right, because you did some interpretation there.
Because there's a lot of rocks. And there's a hole.
And there's a hole. So you see a lot of rocks and you see a hole. How do you know it's not just like a cave?
Because in the picture they're talking about mines.
Oh, okay, so then you went back to other things that you saw, like the key in the picture, and you saw mines. And that led you to think it's a mine. Okay, great. Kai, you have your hand up? What else did you guys notice? Chris, thank you for participating.
Oh, we're gonna.
Yeah, you're raising your hand. What do you notice?
I noticed the roots.
Roots.
Yeah.
What do you mean by roots?
The routes.
Routes.
Oh, that's
It's
what.
not working. If you want to use the backhand, you can use that for visuals.
Okay.
Emailing it through.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to use this, you can use that too.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a couple of things I want to read, but that's okay.
Okay.
We'll work with it. We'll work with it. Okay, what do you see? Roots? Can you come up here and point to it? I don't know what you mean by roots. Like roots of a tree? I'm not quite sure.
Right here.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
So
yeah, routes.
roots, same thing. It's like tomato, tomato. Don't worry. It's the same word. How do you know that is a root?
I know it's a route.
Oh, it's a route. How do you know it's a route? How do you know it's a route?
I know it's a route because that's like where it's moving through.
That's what it's moving through. Samantha, do you agree or disagree with what Chris just said, that that's a route? Or a route? You say route? Oh. You agree. Why do you agree? Have you ever seen anything like this before that led you to think that this is a route?
Yeah.
Where?
On the map.
On a map. What kind of map?
Map like this.
A map of the United States?
Yeah.
Great. You're right. I was on the subway this morning, and I was like, how do I get to this school? And I had to look at the subway map, right, at the different routes. I got off at the 3, the wrong stop, not the one I should have taken, right? But I looked at the trade routes, routes, whatever.
You know
Yes.
you're asking, right? No. No. Just gonna say, you should have asked me this.
Oh, next time I'll phone a friend. I needed a friend this morning to get me here. It was problematic, trudging from that snow. All right, what else do we notice? Because like you guys just pointed out 2 very good things. One was these mines, one was these routes. What else do we see in the image? Where is it? Yes, Kaya.
Two different salt mines. I mean, there's one salt mine and one gold mine, and gold mines is near the Niger.
Oh, how do you say that, Samantha? Do you say it?
Niger.
Niger. Very close. Very close. I see your hand, Chris, but I want to see if I can get in with someone else. Al. Niger.
Niger.
Niger. Niger. Okay. I'll take that. I'd say the Niger River, but I like the accent a little bit on that. The Niger River. I like that. Okay, great. So you see that there's like gold happening around the Niger River. Okay? What's happening above that? What's going on in like the northern part of Africa? Maybe around Tagaza. I see your hand, Kaya, but let's see if I can get somebody else. Desiree, you had your hand up on the last one. Can you maybe help me out with this?
Well, there's salt mines, but Tagaza.
There's salt mines. Awesome. So today, this is what we're literally discussing, is this idea of like salt and gold. And I know that everybody wants to have gold. That song, like, gold on my chain. Everybody wants gold, right? Everybody wants gold. Like, why do they want salt? I went there. I totally went there. The question is, like, why do they want So, and this took me, as a historian, a very long time to figure out. So I'm going to let you guys know, I just kind of recently studied this, and I'm figuring it out for myself too. Like, why is this happening? Why did these trades start happening? And how does it affect Africa? Right? Because trade affects us in one shape or form. Right? One way, shape, or form. It affects us. So our goal for today is to come out of this understanding, how did this trade affect Africa? Right? Okay, cool. I introduced myself. Yeah. Miss Escajeda. I'm from Connecticut. I teach at a school in the Bronx. Connecticut, repping hard. All right. We are going to, you know what I need? I'll just use this. And I'll do it. I'm gonna refer to this. Oh, look at this funny little thing. Takes me a while here. Okay, we're gonna be sequencing events. So historians, we gotta investigate. We're gonna take a picture, we're gonna analyze it, and when we're doing cause and effect today, that's what we're focusing on. We want to figure out how to sequence events. What does the word sequence mean? Right? I feel like we know what it is. Yes, Bree. Is it Bree? Brittany, Bree. Okay. You're 100% right. Things you put in order. Right, so today what we're going to be doing, yes, the claps for her. Today what we're going to be doing is putting things in order. Images in order, text in order. Right, so we're going to be analyzing text. When I say text, what do you think I mean? Right, what type of text exists in this world? Yeah, Desiree.
Non-fiction.
Okay, so like nonfiction, like reading text. Great. What other text? As soon as you guys leave the school, maybe you guys get your phones and you look at like Instagram. What are you reading? Maybe comments, but what else? What are you reading? What did you just do in the do now? Pictures, right? We're reading pictures. Whether or not you guys know you're doing it, you're reading a picture. So we're going to be looking at pictures. What other texts maybe exist? Captions, for sure. Sorry, Faisal, I didn't hear you the first time. Captions, for sure. What other texts exist? Comments. Statuses on Facebook, you got it. What about like songs that you listen to? Isn't that kind of your text? Lyrics, right? So we're going to be looking at all different types of text today in order to sequence them. So I'm going to teach you how to sequence. I'm going to do it with my friend Michael Jordan, right? Very close friend of mine. So, unfortunately, I wish though. I'd be pretty cool if I did. The first thing I do, just like I did in that do now, is I notice deeply. So on the bottom of your worksheet you guys have, before you look over to the next side, you have 3 steps. I would like you guys to write down kind of these 3 main steps. This idea of noticing deeply, I'm going to take you through it. The first thing you guys do as historians is always like investigate, or you notice deeply. And what I mean when I say that, and I asked you guys over there, Chris, your group, I asked you guys, what does it mean to like analyze something, right? What it means to notice deeply is just what do you see? What do you see right offhand? Right, Samantha, you told me that I think you saw the trade routes, you agreed with Chris, you saw the trade routes, you saw salt, you saw gold. Just what do you see with your eyes? Right? Okay. Then what I do is I'm going to ask myself, I'm going to predict. I'm going to use my noticing to predict what I think is happening in that photo. So you guys kind of jumped there right away with the do now. You guys went there when you said like, oh, I think it's trade routes, and I think something's happening between gold and salt. You guys used your noticings of the lines in the image to then create this story in your head. Right on the front here. Thank you so much. You can just do noticing deeply. Next one is predict. The third one is, it was hard for you guys to see, huh? Sorry. Is to investigate and analyze. Alright, so the second thing I do is I create a story in my head. I look at an image, I create a story. So let me show you that with this Michael Jordan picture. You guys all have it in your notebooks or in this, oh jeez, in the packet that I gave you. So the picture I'm looking at, I'm going to do my noticing. What do I see with my own 2 eyes? Right? I see a man. I don't know who it is yet, but I see a man who's wearing a red jersey. Seems to be like clutching this gold thing. Okay, I'm not sure what it is yet, but he's clutching this gold thing, head tilted down, and he almost looks like he might be crying. And what leads me to think that is that I see his like mouth kind of going down, his eyes are closed. Right, so this is my noticing deeply. So now my second part is to actually make a story. What are things happening? And like Mr. Glubiak, I was a big sports player growing up, did lacrosse and soccer, right? So I remember when I won certain championships, wasn't that often, but when I did, I always got like a gold medal or a gold trophy. And so I'm going to create this story that Michael Jordan has either won something or is being like awarded this accolade, right? Some sort of award, right, for what he's done. And I know that the Bulls is a basketball team. Don't know too much about men's sports, but I do know that the Bulls is a basketball team. So the second thing I did was I created a story around it, right? Third thing I have to do is test my story, investigate my story. Is it right? Is it wrong? And now this is when we're going to move to the writing, right? And when you guys investigate text, specifically what we're looking for today is the causes and the effects. What is a cause? What does that mean? Yeah.
I think a cause is like a reason why something happened.
The reason why something happened. You're exactly right. So what's the effect? It's the result, right? What came out of it. So we're going to be looking at this text and trying to figure out what is the cause